If she had accepted Rome's command, if she had allowed foreign generals to dictate the fate of her people, the deserts of Arabia might have become just another Roman province. But the woman standing beneath the scorching sun was not afraid of empires. Her name was Queen Mavia Bedouin, ruler whose intelligence, speed, and desert mastery humiliated the most powerful military machine of the ancient world. And Rome never saw her coming. Mavia ruled in the 4th century, a time when the Roman Empire believed itself unstoppable. Legions marched across continents, crushing resistance with discipline and steel. Cities fell, kings submitted, entire tribes disappeared into the pages of history. But Rome fundamentally misunderstood the desert, and it tragically underestimated a queen who had grown up beneath its burning skies. Mavia was born among the Tanakid Arabs, nomadic warriors who lived by honor, speed, and survival. From her earliest days, she learned to ride before she could read. She knew how to find water where outsiders saw nothing but sand. She understood the desert's moods as if it were a living being. When her husband, the king of the Tanukids, died, Rome expected her to fall into line and submit. Instead, she took the throne. And with it, she took control of one of the most dangerous frontiers Rome had ever faced. The Romans demanded obedience. They demanded tribute. They demanded religious control, attempting to force Roman-approved leaders onto the Arab tribes. Mavia refused. She understood something Rome did not. The desert does not obey authority. It obeys those who understand it. So when Roman officials tried to replace her people's spiritual leaders, Mavia declared war. Not with banners and grand speeches, but with silence. Roman legions marched confidently into Arabia, expecting an easy campaign. They wore heavy armor, carried massive shields, and followed strict, predictable formations. And then, they began to disappear. Supply lines were attacked in the dead of night. Scouts sent into the dunes never returned. Water sources they relied on vanished, seemingly overnight. Caravans were ambushed and gone before the first light of dawn. Mavia's warriors struck like lightning. They were fast cavalry, expert archers, and masters of hit-and-run warfare. They never stayed to fight Rome's strength. Instead, they attacked Rome's weakness. And slowly, relentlessly, Rome bled in the sand. For months, Roman commanders grew desperate. Their soldiers were exhausted, thirsty, and demoralized. The desert crushed them more effectively than any army ever could, and behind it all stood Queen Mavia, directing attacks, choosing the battlegrounds, and turning the vast, unforgiving desert into her greatest weapon. She didn't fight Rome head-on, she outsmarted it. Roman historians writing years later were forced to admit the truth. They could not defeat her. Humiliated and broken, the Roman Empire did something unthinkable. It asked for peace. The empire that ruled the known world sent envoys to a Bedouin queen, a woman they had once dismissed as insignificant. Mavia agreed. But on her terms, she demanded complete religious freedom for her people. She demanded that Rome recognize Arab autonomy. She demanded respect, not submission, and Rome accepted. Queen Mavia had defeated the Roman Empire without losing her nation, her culture, or her dignity. But her story didn't end there. When the Goths later threatened Roman territories, Rome did something extraordinary. They asked Mavia for help, and she sent her warriors. Arab cavalry fought alongside Roman legions not as subjects, but as equals. Roman generals, who had been outmaneuvered and humiliated, now followed strategies shaped by the queen who had defeated them. For a brief, shining moment in history, Rome survived. Because of Queen Mavia. But empires remember humiliation far longer than they remember gratitude. As the decades passed, Rome tightened its grip once more. Politics shifted, alliances faded, and slowly, Mavia's name began to disappear from the official histories. But not from the desert. Among the Arab tribes, her story lived on. She became a legend. A queen who never bowed. A ruler who made Rome kneel without ever setting foot in its cities. A woman who proved that intelligence will always defeat brute force. She ruled not with palaces, but with loyalty. Not with massive armies, but with speed and strategy. Not with fear, but with respect. Queen Mavia did not conquer Rome. She did something far more powerful. She forced Rome to recognize her as an equal. And in an age where empires routinely erased entire nations from existence, that achievement was nothing short of miraculous. She remains one of history's greatest forgotten queens, the Bedouin ruler who turned sand into a weapon and made the world's strongest empire retreat. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment your favorite topic you want me to cover next. Your support helps bring these forgotten queens back to life.